Au ya you. You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear that power. Gaya gay, via yet to get this again. I say, oh, me amurai. And by doing you, I'm a quantity of my trade there. Well, on it goes away. Alazai Bobo, that Gianna, we say you. Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Momba Sivole. Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. We are glad that we want by say so where that you are. I want say Bobo. There be oh. Do a web that play you go back for money. Papa nye guitar, petit, brother Sassoni. Kaidaka. Bena paya posa gogo, mambo panjago. Apo blow akafwe. Apo zanyo kafwe. Be afonte mwa bandi yopa kle yukiye. Nyanjo si mwe. Bosko kata tuyo kwe atinyo diyo wan. Emo o. Nese tokan. Kwisi izwa pokoke. Wede yeble. Koworia nakanda salute. Bosko kata tuyo kwe atinyo diyo wan. Emo o. Nese tokan. Na kwisi izwa pokoke. Wede yeble. Koworia kanike. Na konkete nyambe wewe. Na nyonsa on feble ane. Yajo, wale yajo, let's do what you just grab the work. Say your book on ya. Are you now? Say Bobo that you know, and we say you over. I want to you come on, need a boy, and yes, I'm going to buy them when we get. Hey, Imo. Gay, one of what I guess me, I'm done, and in the boy. Oh, Say, Bobo, that you know, now we say you will. So, like it, I'm going to never go. Netoni and Rayo. Hey, are you? Oh, but just say, oh, yeah, I'm a walking ever. Kaidaka. When it was to work, I go to let you know halfway. I just know. This is what I say. Say, Bobo, yeah. You like to write them on by. Why name on tell it to get by Botamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Pinagasia, Bacao Lage, the Buesi, the BSC, baby. Don't yet see you can up one. There was a bomb was a dressy, Mango, Belly Bobo, that you know, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. In back to a black guy, do it so say. I just want to lay a bat to an hour, you see you okay. Wait, you, Evo, Saibo. On the client, I walk like a bad day noir. Eh, Jozo was so now when you're naturally stand, claim the soule. Say, Bobo, that you know, and I will say you over. I'm done it. Where are you? So on my way. I know Russell, Cape Gospel. South Africa, your part, your way. Thank you for your work there and my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't feel it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, back in where we are coming. Say, Bobo, that you know, and I will say you over. About people, you in this room. Pamuka, do not get daughter, Siko Bala. Clavodio, I say. Say, I say, but you know, can one day, yeah, your family, your thing, one day, now. I reward, I say, oh, but yeah, I'm more down. Say about that, you know, and I will say you. I wish a rule of you, but yeah, something on your way. you know I say, is it my yo? That was the yes, you also won't go. I'm original, I say.
Oui, il a fait une chanson à Mobile Production, voilà. Et Mobile Production, c'est une structure qui est créée pour les jeunes qui sont dans le démon, pour les jeunes de l'US tout. Mobile Production est là pour produire les jeunes talentueux, cachés, que les gens ignorent. Donc notre devoir, c'est de produire des talents cachés. Alors, il a fait un son pour Mobile Production.
Arrangé Eric Lodé, le don de Dieu pour la musique de l'Ouest. Je te détesterai jamais. Jamais, jamais, au grand jamais. Mon bien production. Abia dia au bois. Amounia dro. Moi et toi pierre. Moi yé, pierre mon moi yé. Moi yé, pierre mon moi yé. A toi pierre qui a volé. Pierre mon moi yé. Ah pierre ouais. Nda toi pierre se prononcer ide. A toi pierre qui a volé. Accroché au. Moi yé, pierre mon moi yé. Bossa iko como inye Piero ji mo were mando ye mo a Piero ji mo were mando ye mo Piero we ha ji a were Piero mo inje to Piero mo inye o Piero mo inye o Piero ji a were ba lo poje yo ji a were so no juni emble Amado let's appelé Diamant qui bagnonné Mama dia qui bagnonné Dia plebonné na kanyopo Siabu tiena de kanyoe Kanyon de koga se produit Piero moye Piero moye Piero moye Ogarba oyawesa Moye Jibla no pigeon boba Yerbono Ma boye blé Piero moye Mon blé production Topie mon blé production Assez au clan Ya ora que lo mu lo koje Piero moye Piero moye Piero moye Erico na Piero moye Ah Charlico na Piero moye A to Piero moye Die nya pa yeble to Piero die nya pa yeble Ah nie Piero Ah Piero Piero moye Erico ja to Piero Mare bomu ja to Piero Erico de bomu ja to Piero Miomo daka Do jale ko ye nyowo pa Opa obla ye de nyani ye ble bra kite Dia o anade bro aja be atia Nyoro agade ki agudi ye Ono homono ne ka double ye Sobo somo soble so danyo Paseble asenyo na yeta esa ye dibo sanere E to Piero jawe ke To Piero poinson weke To Piero iwa mopa Kaya no enka sene la taya mo la osiane To Piero ki agba ere papa ko Kia o a To Piero moye Ah tu agba moe Piero we, ah Piero you a plan Piero we, ah Piero moye, Piero moye. Glayo pada we, nebo kango. Glayo pada we, nebo kango. Ah tideji, ah tideji we, ah mara tidie me o, ah o. Upa karito kwenye tawake, asa o mande. Piero moye, Piero moye, ese sonia routier, assez o. Mama sableye Angela Wene, e bobo pangla brille Angela Wene, nama bobo pangla brille Moye, Ashalo, Moye. Oh, Mamma Bokembra, Chia, Mamma Kembrode, where you je sais ma Jackie, je Mama, je sais Taniaki. Hada Nicola, Memotia, Mada Nicola, Taniaki, Nicola Breto Yamo, Ochuachi, Naipo de Wenke, Black on Black Chili, Agia, Agia. Moye, Yaro Moye, 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 Moye.
Folks, Samson told Liberia Public Radio, of course, we want to welcome all of you on a Friday afternoon. The money's already in it, so why cannot dance? I want to thank all of you that have been watching. Those of you that tuning in, we say thank you very much. We appreciate it's going to be a packed show tonight. There's no question, guys. There's going to be a packed show tonight. So right now, I ask you to share this video. And you can bring in your view. come and talk to us. Let us know. Express yourself however way you want to. That's fine. But if you go too far, we might try to debunk whatever it is that you're trying to do that is not right. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Let me welcome all of you and say thank you very much for joining me again this evening on LIBERIA Public Radio. It's a wonderful Friday afternoon. But it is a very serious business. Safety. I don't mind you coming here every day on LIBERIA Public Radio and engaging me, even to the point of disagreeing with me so vehemently that you find yourself using words that are not comfortable for your brothers and sisters. That's okay. I just want you to be safe and be here to argue with me. I don't mind that. So let me go on. Safety, folks. Take care of your car. Your car will take care of you. Very shortly here, we're going to be getting in the winter. And make sure you winterize your car. Just like you winterize your house. You also have to winterize your car. So get it ready for the winter. Because the season going to take effect on your car, whatever it is. So it's going to affect your car as you drive around in the snow. They put salt down. The salt goes into your tires, into whatever the wheel well, or whatever it is in your car. Those are things you have to pay attention to. So take care of your car will take care of you. One other thing that I want to point out here very quickly. This Friday, month end or weekend, whatever it is, those of us that get paid, whatever time you get paid, please, whatever you do tonight, it's Friday, don't drink and drive. You want to drink, and it's okay because most of you work hard, believe me. So you want to wind down. Some of you are professors that is so demanding of you physically. So when you have the opportunity like this on a Friday afternoon, you want to wind down. That's okay. And some of you want to wind down by using liquor. That's okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't. All I'm saying is that you should do it with sense. Be responsible. Because if you drive and get behind your car, you might not hurt yourself, but you might hurt other people. So it is better, even if you're not drunk, but if you're driving sober, if anything happening, you will know your position. You will know exactly what you need to do to save you or the loved one along with you. But if you're drunk, you think nothing can happen. Speaking from experience, I'm not hiding it. I used to do that. But that's bad. Until I got caught. My son, who is now 5 years old, he was about 6 months old when that happened to me. Since then, that was the end of that gingerbread boy. But anyway, that's besides the point. Nowadays, especially nowadays, you're foreigner from Liberia. They catch you. You're drinking, driving, then they catch you. Say, well, listen, what? I hear you. You're talking to me? Say, oh, that foreigner. Man, let's see. First thing they say, let's see your paper. Why am I asking for that police? May asking for paper? Man, why you asking for paper? Say, oh, they call it immigration. You got good papers, that's fine. But if your crime is felony, guess what? Boom, boom, boom. That's the point. And even let's take it serious a little bit. Nothing happened to you. Immigration, everything's fine. But you got caught drunk driving. Your license gonna immediately be suspended. And you won't be able to go to school. You won't be able to go to work. You might be able to go to work because they do have these license insurance that allow you to get work license. But what if you want to go to the store to go get diaper for baby? What if you... Samson, to speak for yourself. I don't do diaper anymore. I'm out of that game. But anyway, what if you have to go to the store? Why you have to go somewhere? You mean you're going to be walking or taking bus all the time? And if you dare to put one of those tow-town trick on them, and you say, well, the police not looking, man, let me just go. I can let you from tow-town. You get on the road. The police say, yeah, I am. So those things happen. So the best thing I can say to you this afternoon before I go on with my show is to ask you, to plead with you. Don't drink and drive. You want to get drunk? You want to do it at home? Perfect. If you must do it outside of home, friends are gathering this afternoon. You have gotten wind of the information some 2 days ago. You know the person who having a party or whatever, you get there. This is what I always ask you to do. You get to the person's house, because at that time you still, your eyes ball is still clear, nothing inside. Because you're just getting there 7, 8 o'clock in the afternoon or in the evening. Say, sir, my name is Samson Toh. I heard you having a party here this evening. I thought that I stopped by to grace the party. I just want to enjoy myself here this evening. And since it's a free beer that you're offering, I want to thank you very much anyway. But this is what I'm asking you to do. I want to seriously get drunk tonight. Don't be bashful about it. But here's my keys. You see that car over there? That's my car. Here's my keys. Here is $40 or $20. If for some reason you feel that I'm unable to drive, don't give me my keys. I will say some nasty thing to you, but believe me, that's not me talking. That's the liquor talking. So please refuse to give my keys. And if you feel that you can't stand my insult anymore in your house, don't beat me up, I beg you. But this is what you need to do. Please call Uber. Here's the money. And let them take me home. And if you're a good friend of mine and you seek for my security sake, you know, here's another $20. Let you and the Uber take me home. You come back. Okay? So with that kinds of stuff, there's nothing I can do. Okay? So this is what you need to do. All right? And once that is done, once you're done with that, you need to get in there. And once you're done having that kind of information to the guy you want to have information to, you go ahead and you start your problem. Another thing you can do is this. When you get in, you don't want to get drunk in somebody's house, go and buy yourself some beer. You buy beer, you come in your own house, and you turn to LIBERIA Public Radio. And everything that I'm going to be saying here tonight, you just turn it the other side, and you become an opposition to my view. Is that this something to me? I say, you finish stupid, eh? What kind of man there? What he talking about? What he talking about? Baby, please give me that one beer, bottle of me. He said, please. What kind of man there? That every night we'll see something to something. What kind of man there? Where he come to? That total business he come to America for? Every day? That's okay. You're home having a conversation with Samson Toh. But guess what? After that, you're going to go to bed in your own house. No police going to come in there unless it turns to a violence, that you turn your violence into family members, which of course that's also is not nice. Not only is not nice, that's criminal. So you want to stay away from all kinds of stuff. If you're somebody that have the tendency to get drunk and want to be violent, you stay away from liquor. You're not going to die if you don't drink. This is Samson Toh, LIBERIA Public Radio. Let me do this. One more music here while I try to find some stuff. I think I'm forgetting something here very quickly. I will be right back. Samson Toh, LIBERIA Public Radio. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, right there. Again, folks, Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. I want to thank you very much. I thought I had to take care of one or two things. I forgot to bring that up. But anyway, that's what we do here on LeBron Public Radio. We're trying our best to get things going. So thank you very much. Let's go ahead and join the program right now and get it going. Thank you very much for staying with us. We say, please, those of you that want to left, you want to come back, come back. If you're still there, you want to share it, please. It's a very wonderful program we're going to have here tonight. Thank you very much. Stay with us. Before I go on to the program here tonight, I want you to look at something here that I have. Okay, just hold on. When I left all my tools, okay, I'm still here. All right, so let's do this. I have the LeBron Police Inspector General Suri's pictures up here. Once again, before I go on to Dr. Weir tonight, I want to say thank you to the Inspector General. This guy, the thing that I've been reading about him is very interesting, because I was in Liberia when he was selected. So a friend of mine and I went to visit another engineer. We were in the office talking engineering stuff, and his name came up. And this friend that we went to visit, he been in Liberia for a very long time. He said, "Oh, that begin to counsel, the man full of trouble. He ain't let him understand nothing. The man, he will cause problem." I mean, a big office. They got other people that were there, and I'm wondering to myself, because I don't know who they are. So I'm wondering to myself, why would Dr. Weir select somebody who they believe, if somebody is saying already he hasn't even taken office, and the people say he full of trouble, he full of grumble. That's the word he used. Full of grumble. Grumble business, you can't play with him. So, but that was the information that was given. So, I didn't utilize that. That's fine. But within the last week, not only that, some time ago, some of us like to observe when people are doing things that are right. We like to appreciate that. When the flood situation happened in Liberia, when it was raining heavily that day, he was one of those. Even though he's an inspector general, he doesn't even have to do anything because he's a big wig of the police. But he was in the street directing traffic. And I think I may mention that I have a picture of him standing in the middle of the road directing traffic in the rain. The statement he made was that if I can't do it, if I can't come in the rain to direct traffic, why should I ask somebody else's husband, somebody else's son, and I'm just paraphrasing now, to go do this kind of stuff if I can't do it? So let me do it myself. That way people know that it's a very serious business. When I asked them, they would do it. And I thought to myself, isn't it the same guy that say he got grandma? And this is what Liberian men will tell you. That one of the things we're very good at, to spot people need, and I'm speaking the real Liberian English now, spot need. if you're spoiling my name. You know, but on a very serious note, last week, no, this week, there was a demonstration. And I think I came up here and show you where the Minister of Justice, and a few other government officials, plus the UN people, they had a meeting with the young people, the protesters. They're here, the organizer. They decided to have a meeting with the organizer. And just today, he had an interview with Front Page Africa. That's the interview. I'm going to read those statements to you. This man, you know, let me do this very quickly. I'm going to be playing you a series of comment Dr. Weah made during his speech about Liberia. But one of the things that I've noticed, I don't live in Liberia, that's for sure. Definitely, you can see here. But I still have my heart still in Liberia. I still have relatives over there. So if anything happened, all of us will still suffer. Because some of us, you're not going to be able to sleep with your mom and pa. You know where they are. How you enjoy yourself in America? You're not going to. So it's not unique to me. But there are a few people, and I'm going to call the names here tonight. Not in the form of trying to degrade them, or in the form of trying to say that they are troublemakers. But I just don't like the procedures. I don't like the way they're behaving. I really don't like, especially when it comes to what is happening in Liberia. This young man, the police chief, he has put himself, because the police, whenever, that's one of the fear we had the last time, the very first time they said they're going to have a demonstration. Some of us, I was on here pleading with them. Because some of us have watched the police brutalize their own brothers and sisters in the past. So when they said they're going to demonstrate, especially people like the young man Cully, who I really dearly love, not because of his smart, but he's a very intelligent young man, and he's engaging. So my concern was I didn't want him to get hurt either. Not only him, all the life. So I was pleading. You can go and research my video. You will understand that. Okay? But this gun protest, before that, this man, I.G. Suri, and Liberian Minister of Justice, they decided, and a few other people want to have a sit down with these people. And I read it here the other day. I hope you pay attention to that. So now, after that, he decided he wanted to have a press conference, not press conference, but a sit down with Front Page Africa interview. And I want to take this special time now that I've read his statement he made, I want to take this time again to say thank you. With this kind of young man in Liberia, who is in charge of huge security forces in Liberia, to come and have that kind of mentality, to say we, the police, are not the enemy of the people, nor the people are enemy for the police as well, as young as he is. Then I think if we sit down and listen to him, then I think we're standing a good chance as people. There are few, and I will call their names here tonight, that continue to inflame whatever situation is happening in Liberia in the name of party. And I don't think that's kinds of statements or whatever you want to call it. They're not conducive to peace. Simple as that. So I think to have this man, whatever statement that I'm going to be reading to you here tonight, has canceled the other thing that I was going to talk about. I was going to put another video, but I thought I'm not going to publicize those kinds of video, because they are not something that I want people to continue to see. You want to see it, you go see it somewhere else. Okay, that would be the video of Chairman Monuba, and I believe Solomon George, and also a video from the Gray, the representative. I like them. These people are working for the country. I have no issue. But when they make statements that tend to somehow engage in a negative faction, then I try to distance myself from the people And I will make that point clear here tonight. But let's go on. So I want all of you Liberians to please join with me to congratulate this young man and to tell him thank you very much. Because when he came in, some of us were kind of not quite, I don't know who he is. I've never met him before. So when my friend made that statement in Liberia, I took it for face value. But look at his action. Since this gone protest, look at his action. And I'm going to read that now. Folks, this is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Stay with me now as we try to read the IG statement. And let me read. Okay. Let's read together. Right there. It says, it is our duty, and this is from Front Page Africa, by the way. It is our duty to ensure that those who are protesting against the government are protected under the law. It can't be any clearer than that. Okay? This is a police chief. Let's read some more. What that means, there are many things in between that I didn't put on there. So I want you to know it's not just something. So there's something else. So let's go on. So the strategy was, he said, when they had a meeting during the protest, he said the strategy was, we met with the protesters and we alleviate their fears that the police is for everybody, that we are not going to arrest anybody, and definitely now let's see if we can scroll this up now, folks. Just stay with me, Samson Toe. Okay, so when the police director comes out and say these kinds of stuff, I think then I think we're in good hand. I'm just hoping that it's something that he meant those things and that they take them for what it is. Okay, let's read it again. So the strategy was, we met with the protesters and we alleviated their fear that the police is for everybody, that we are not going to arrest anybody, definitely. Okay, now let's scroll it up. Definitely, we are going to protect them till the climax of their protest. And that's exactly what he did. If you go and review some of the pictures, our strategy was, those with the ballistic material, talking about the police now, we had them on standby at our police station, and firearms carrier were absolutely not allowed to come close to the protesters. So those who were carrying firearm were told that either you left your firearm at the emirate or at the central headquarters. Just how we guide them in the first protest, we will reach out to them. We will guide them if they are having another future protest. When we reach out to them, they will coordinate with us because they know that we are not brutals. The police is not the police that believe in brutalizing citizens. We will do everything to ensure that the police and the citizen have the cultural working relationship. Because if you find that the people have that trust in the police, obviously you will find that the act of police brutality will definitely cease, he says. So those bad apples will be weeded out. We will not condone anybody in the service of the Liberian police to misbehave in the public or to go against our citizens. The police is the people, and we must be service oriented. You hear that? Okay. So if the guy can come out, and I hope you were reading with me as he was scrolling, if the guy can come out to say the police is not here to brutalize the citizen. Let's go back to his picture. then I think it gives us reason to believe that our situation is not that dire. Let's put it this way. We have the police chief who will publicly tell people that we're not going to brutalize people because they're serving. I mean, they're taking on their own right that's provided for under the Constitution. Even though we're here to protect lives and property, but in the process, if these people want to do the same if they want to come out to do protests again, we will coordinate with them and we protect them. But the last time, and this is why I gave this young man respect, big time. The last time he made a statement, and the statement was, just remember that we are a government, and that when you break the rule, you will be held accountable. By you telling people these kinds of things does not negate the fact that you are still in charge. And that's exactly what this young man have done. And then again, once again, IG Sure, we want to thank you very much. My brother, please keep it up. You might be one in the millions, but other people will see your example and follow. Because what you have done and what you continue to do is to build an institution. Okay? You're not making this thing all about you. You're making it about the people. You're telling us that your duty is to serve service-oriented police station or police organization, whatever you want to call it. But you want to serve the people. And one of the statements he said, the police is for the people. We're not here to just whack people because we don't like what they're doing. So once again, let me say thank you to IG. And my brother will say thank you. We appreciate it. Please keep it up. Keep it up. Because some of us have children over there. Some of us have children here. They might be coming home. But if we have a police force that is not brutal, then that's good. And I'm glad you're using words that some of the progressive might have used. And as though the people using this kind of language about our police, but you yourself have recognized the past behavior of our police force. And those are the kind of things, because once you recognize that these are the past behavior, then you will fix it because you know what the problem is. And I really, really appreciate it. Especially, let me just say the last thing, then I can go on to Dr. Weir. Especially when Dr. Weir is in this land selling the ideas of governing Liberia, and then you come on to say what you say, and the people, not just what comes out of your mouth, but the people have watched your performance, and that's wonderful. And if you go on front page, you will find other pictures. In fact, those of you that were able to follow the protest the other day, there was some a police officer, no guns. Guns were not allowed around the protesters, so that if anything happened, nobody come with tricky fingers. Yeah, of course, but stand by. So in case the people decide to go destroy property, the police are there. But at this time, until they give you reason, no guns around. So IG, thank you, my brother. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. This is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Let me go on now to the main show here tonight. Okay. Folks, it's a wonderful, wonderful Friday afternoon. So the first picture, the first video clip that I'm going to be showing you is Dr. Weir at the UN giving his speech 2 days or so ago. And this is what I have to say about this. Now you can call me sedition, whatever you want to call me. I will continue to say that I'm not a sedition. Not that they're bad. I don't want to be part of it, but I'm not. So I'm not going to come out here and claim that I'm a member of CDC. I'm not. Never was. I don't think I will ever be sedition. I can work for CDC, but I will not be part of CDC because that's not who I am. I'm not even anxious for work. I don't even want work right now because right now I still have time. I'm not even ready to leave. It's Friday. I just got from work, engineering work. engineering work here in this state. I just did some work, and I enjoy what I'm doing. I've been in design now going to almost, what, 19, 20 years or so. If you add survey and everything else, you're talking almost 20 something years. Because I started doing that when my 28-year-old was just a baby. So I've been in the business for a very, very long time, and I enjoy it. So I'm not ready to leave now and go to LIBERIA and say, this is what I want to do. No. So please spare me that. However, the point that I want to make is this. If I were to be in Liberia to have the opportunity to vote, I wasn't going to vote for CDC. I'm a Liberty Party card-carrying member of Liberty Party. However, if I come out here on Liberian Public Radio, no politics, no partisan or whatever, I must be truthful. If Dr. Weah is putting Liberia to a different level, I must be truthful. If something else is going on, for example, the money issue, we'll talk about it. But I will not make up story because I'm not a member of CDC and CDC-led government is doing something. Therefore, I should come out and degrade it because I don't like it. No, I'm not going to do that. So call me whatever name you want to call me. It doesn't matter. I know who I am. So nothing you will say that's going to move me. So with that, should I call it disclaimer or whatever it is you want to call it? Just give it to Sam Sinto, LeBron Public Radio. Again, folks, Sam Sinto here, live from Sacramento this afternoon. Okay, let's go on. So Dr. Weah was at the UN to give his speech. In this speech, a lot of people have been writing all kinds of that view. But for me, I don't care how it was delivered. But as a president of my country, he stood there, performed, and delivered. And I say, thank you, Dr. Weah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. He's young. Let us don't forget. There was those at the UN that day that were watching a former football star and telling UN, this is who I am. This is what I have done since my football career. It's if you have to follow somebody and you have to appreciate something sometimes. It's not everything that we're going to say here and criticize. Let's just start from the human perspective. Somebody from Cloud Town is at the UN giving a speech. You sit down and say, oh God, thank you. Folks, from that perspective, I say, thank you, God, and thank you, Dr. Weah. But I'm not talking about coming from Cloud Town right now. I'm talking about the fact that Dr. Weah, and why, oh, I can't play it right now. Okay, yes, I can. No, I can't do that. Okay. I'll put it up. I'll put it up what I'm talking about. Okay, so okay, no, let me do this. Let me not do that. Let me do this since I'm not ready yet. Okay. So Dr. Weah was out there at the UN to give a speech. And the first clip that I'm going to be playing here is, I want you to follow the train of thought of Dr. Weah and his people. And I'm, that's one thing I like about myself. I like to observe. I don't mind if I spend 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours just to find a piece that give a narrative of the story of what's happening. And I was able to go through the whole video, clip by clip. And this is what I thought that was very interesting. Not you. You can disagree with me. That's okay. So when Dr. Weah got up to talk, he appreciated the fact that he had the opportunity to speak. But guess what? if this young man continue to perform like this, 12 years, you can go to the bank with it. 12 years. Why do I say that? And you say, Mr. To, with all the money issue and all the kind, why you give me a 12 year? Well, guess what? He has people that are going to be dealing with it. And they will get to the bottom of it. I believe that. But until then, I will talk about what's happening now. The money issue is there. When he gets back, he will deal with it. But what is happening here with us? The way he performed, things that comes out of his mouth. If he continue to exhibit those kinds of character of him, the characteristic of these kinds of a performance, and 12 years. However, let me quickly caution myself, because as I told you before, I was at the inauguration program when Dr. Weah gave that speech, the inaugural speech. Like I said, I'm a Liberty Party member, and I was at the stadium as representing LIBERIA Public Radio. I was close. I was like maybe 10, 15 feet away from the podium, because I was taking pictures, taking video, and what have you. And he started talking. The speech got into my soul so much that I forgot that I'm a oppressed man. And I admit that. Perhaps I was wrong, but wait, I'm a Liberian first of all. The first thing came out of my mouth, 12 years. Inaugural speech. First day inauguration. And I'm going 12 years. Everybody was telling, who said that? Who said that? I said, I did. And the people were looking at me, what kind of man, where you come from? What kind of free man here? But that's how I felt. Now, the speech he gave, is he following through right now? I don't think so. What's the reason? I don't know. But I was so moved that I learned how to make fool out of myself that day. Well, not fool out of myself. That was my opinion. People thought I was making fool out of myself. I don't care. But once again, I'm a type of person that when you do something that I like, I praise you right away. I don't care where I've been in the past and what have you. I say thank you right away. And those of you that know Blaku in our community, you know what I'm talking about. I don't fool around. And so I really appreciate Dr. Weah going through UN. Now, when he got up, he appreciated the opportunity. But guess what? He knew exactly where he was. At least the people who, he and his people, they knew exactly where he was. And they knew exactly what he wanted to talk about. The first thing he did, number one thing, was to recognize, folks, this is very interesting. A young man who played football, that woman business. Man, that one, I don't here to hide it, because we all play football. The young man never went around with all the kinds of nonsense. He came up and recognized that the UN has a president who's a lady, and decided to congratulate her and her country. You see where I'm going with this? He didn't come out to say, oh, people doing their bad thing with the money business and the security of the country and blah, blah. No. He said, Madam President, let me first of all thank you for you being the president of the body. From that point on, you know, it's like taking a test. Those of you that have been taking high class tests, whatever, and I'm one of those. When you give me a test, I open the first page, the first problem, I read it, I do it, that 100. But the first problem, I read it, and I start thinking about monthly way in total, I'm done. Forget it. And there's nothing else coming out of the test from me. And it's the same thing here. When I saw his statement, I knew then that this is a sail. He was going to sail through the roof. Let's play. Let us stop beating around the bush here. I'm enjoying myself. I'm truly enjoying myself. But let me give you the first point here. What I'm making, and then I'll come back. This is Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's listen to Dr. Weah at the UN. Where is it?
I'm honored to address this 73rd section of the General Assembly of the United Nations on behalf of the government and people of Liberia. Allow me, first of all, to congratulate you, Madam President, and the government of the people of Ecuador for your elections as President of the 73rd section of this August Assembly. With our eyes on history, Liberia takes special note and hails your selections as the 4th woman President of the General Assembly. I'm honored to address this 73rd.
Did you hear that? And you guys think this young man, y'all coming from Cloud Town? Please, this is high class. High class. PhD, high class. I say so. Samson told say so. Listen to him. No, seriously, on a very serious note. He didn't come in and say how he traveled, thank God that I traveled here. He already done that. But he came and recognized immediately the leadership. And he also recognized that the leadership has a woman at the top. Folks, I'm going to be doing a lot of those tonight, so I just want you to bear with me. Let's go now. This is another thing that he did. Okay. Dr. Weir, I really enjoy it, Biggie. Okay, this is another thing that he did. The next clip that I'm going to be playing for you is this. When people will say, oh, why Dr. Weir always like to honor Arsenal's coach? Because this man, Dr. Weir, that's one of the things he always has in him. He never forget where he's coming from. Dr. Weir, whenever you do something bad to him or good, it's always there. When he became ambassador, okay, I believe it was Kofi Annan was the Secretary General at the time. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. However, but he knew of Kofi Annan's contribution to UN. So as a son of Africa, who also frequents Ghana, who also have connection with Ghana, decided to use this opportunity to pay tribute. Let's listen. Folks, these are kinds of stuff that I'm going to be going. The reason why I'm doing this, I'm bringing these things out clip by clip. I want you to understand where we are. And then you say, well, Mr. Todd, when he leave from here and go back, his things start all over. Well, let's give them the opportunity. Let them show us that they're not capable. But so far, he's doing good. Okay? I don't know. All right. I'll handle that later. Okay. So the fact that we have this, okay, Dr. Weir is on and he's giving this information. He's paying tribute. So let's look at it again. Okay. Let's now go to Dr. Weir paying tribute to Kofi Annan.
Madam President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just 2 weeks ago, we joined millions in Ghana and around the world to bid a final farewell to former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, who devoted his life to peacemaking and conflict resolution, a calling I wish he was renowned and successful. With his passing, Africa lost one of its illustrious sons, and the world had lost one of the most outstanding diplomats of our time. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Madam President, distinguished ladies.
That's what I'm talking about. Did you hear that? I don't have to even go into detail. Okay. Most likely, I'll play you one more clip here, and then I'll call it quit for the night. Because I think I forgot that I have other things that I want to take care of. Hopefully, tomorrow we will try to do it. On Monday, we'll try to finish it up. But anyway, let me play one last clip here for you. Okay. All right. So that was the contribution. I mean, paying tribute to Kofi Annan. Now, the fun starts. Here, Dr. Weah is going to tell the UN to say, guess what? I used to play football. I'm President of the Republic of Liberia. Deal with me from that perspective. I used to be ambassador, peace ambassador. I'm President of the Republic of Liberia. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm just saying. But basically, he gave me his gray card, the report to the UN. What has happened in a year or so. I'll play this one clip, and then we will play some music, and then we'll be back. Stay with me, Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's play this clip. It's a very interesting. I hope people were paying attention. I hope, because the way it's like you're writing, you're writing a report, and you start, and you. If you like to read, and if you like to listen to people's speeches and try to analyze, you will truly enjoy it. Let me excuse myself, and let Dr. Weah tell us what happened. How did he get here? Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, late last year, Liberians participated in presidential and legislative elections, the result of which represented a major shift in the underlying fundamentals of the Liberian political dynamics. In an orderly, lawful, and a peaceful manner, Liberians voted in overwhelming numbers for a change for hope. This was the first time in 73 years that Liberians enjoy a peaceful transfer of power from one democratically elected government to another. Madam President,
Okay, folks, Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. Good news. Thing that I was going to be running out of here for, they've already taken care of. So I don't have to cut my show short tonight. Thank God. By the way, I want to thank God, and God is always in control. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get on going. Before going on a break here, I'll show you where Dr. Weah was able to introduce the Liberian political setting. Let's go on. I got a lot of clip here for you tonight. This other clip. Here is an interesting subject matter. I love it. Dr. Weah, you know, one of the things I told you guys here some time ago, and I show you a video. No, I didn't show the video. I told you about it, this situation. When he was playing Italy, there's this one guy from Portugal, a Portuguese football player, defender. And just Dr. Weah was forward guy. He played front to score. So this defender keep raising statement and what have you. So it got bad one time. There was a ball. Go and look it up. There was a ball that came from the right side. And Dr. Weah was right behind this guy, this other defender. Now the defender who has always put his mouth on him was behind him. He knew where he was. So when they crossed the ball, Dr. Weah was the first to get to where the ball was going to go. He scored. But when he did that, he slipped and it was on the ground. So this defender that always have issue with him came. And you could tell when they replay it that it was purpose. He stepped on his finger, almost cut his finger off with the iron stuff. We call it iron stuff back home. He had it cut and clicked. By the way, so Dr. Weah went on the sideline. They took care of his hand. He came back. They got off. According to the story, after the game tied 1-1. After the game, they were on their way in a tunnel. And this guy started big mouth. And the guy said, "What wrong with man?" Dr. Weah said, "What wrong with man? You know I'm from Negro Town. You know I'm from Cloud Town. What wrong with you? Let me show you a little bit." And busted his nose. Completely, almost dislodged his nose from his face. Almost. The guy was bleeding. Of course, Dr. Weah got suspended. But the people recognized that this was a racism at its core. So, in fact, that same year, he was nominated and he won. Not only, I don't think it was the best player, but he won the player of the year or something like that. You know, somebody who played good without confusion, whatever. After he busted the guy's nose. Because this is what he does. When you fighting him, he said, "I tell you, you leave me alone." They want to leave me. Yeah, leave me alone. He want to leave me. My man, leave me alone. He said, the next thing he said, "Look, I'm from Cloud Town. Bring it on." So this one here, this is the speech he's giving. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. He said, after, and I'm just paraphrasing. You were listening to him. There was an election. But the Liberian people decided to go with the useful youth of the country. Guess who he was going against? Who? Okay. Dr. who? Former Vice President? Dr. Wakai. But his speech, he said the people decided to go with the youthful group. Wait. Just little jab. Okay. I'm not fighting you. I'm just letting them go out of my way a little bit. You're too much right now. The useful leadership. Let's listen to Dr. Weah. People, you know, these are good things to have. Sam Sinto, LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's listen in here.
At the end of the long campaign, when the results were announced after the runoff, it became clear that the pendulum swung in the direction of useful leadership, and the paradigm has shifted in favor of change and transformation. At the end of the long campaign, when the results were announced after the runoff, it became clear that the pendulum swung in the direction of useful leadership, and the paradigm has shifted in favor of change and transformation.
Folks, what did I tell you? I'm just going to give you guys little snippet here and there tonight. But on a very serious note, he's telling the UN, don't see me here and think about my football day 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'm just being ridiculous. But I'm no longer on the pitch. I'm here because the Liberian people decide to swing the pendulum towards the useful leadership. And I am that person. The paradigm has shifted. Folks, if you're somebody who is a political junkie just like myself, I was glued to television yesterday. Why would you not enjoy something like this? Why would you not enjoy Dr. We are making these kinds of statements? Are they not true statements? Why would you try to criticize? Why would you try to criticize his speech? Are they not true statements? No. Forget about the process, the delivery itself. Let's deal with it from factual standpoint. Are they not facts? I rest my case. Samson told LIBERIA public. If they're facts, then let's go on. Okay. All right. So, okay. Let's go on. All right. The next one, the next clip you will hear, he will tell the UN that guess what? I am here as president of the Republic of Liberia. You saw me running around with some of you as UN ambassador, whatever. But now I'm here as president of the Republic of Liberia. So let us talk as grown up. I might look young, but I'm representing the people of the Republic of Liberia. Let's listen. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Folks, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You don't have to stay. Let's do it. Let's listen to what Dr. we have to say about the next one here. I'm here, he says.
The United Nations and its various bodies, as well as regional organizations and many of our bilateral partners and friends, were direct witnesses to the maturity of the Liberian electorate, our respect for law and order, and the successful democratic processes. As standard bearer of the winning coalition for democratic change, the mantle and responsibility of leading this transformation therefore devolves upon me. When I was inaugurated as the 24th president of Liberia on January 22nd, 2018, the United Nations and its various bodies, as well as regional organizations and many of our bilateral partners and friends, were direct witnesses to the maturity of the Liberian electorate, our respect for law and order, and the successful democratic processes. As standard bearer of the winning coalition for democratic change, the mantle and responsibility of leading this transformation therefore devolves upon me. When I was inaugurated as the 24th president of Liberia on January 22nd, 2018.
Okay? So, after he told the UN that there has been, pendulum has swung to the useful leadership, that the paradigm have shifted. Not only that, these people, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Not only that, but he also telling the UN, I'm not making this up. And this is the very interesting one. He says, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not making this up. The UN and other organizations were witness to this process. So it's not something that I'm making up or trying to make my caca smell good. I'm here to tell you the truth. And this is the truth. If you don't believe me, he said, ask yourself. Samson too. Folks, it's a very interesting thing. Interesting thing. And therefore, he says, as a standard barrier for that part of that process, political party. I was elected and inaugurated. The inauguration process happened. Here I am. Folks, if you're not a political junkie, then you don't tend to like these kinds of stuff. Then you don't tend to enjoy them. But the next clip is a very interesting one. You see, that's what I told you. If you like to write and you know how to write and you put your paragraph and you put your sentences and things together, you want people to read so they will form some sort of an object, if it's an object that you're writing about. So you can describe it. They will be able to know exactly what you're talking about. Even if they have not seen it, they might be able to form some sort of an image of what you've written, what is being written about. And that's exactly what Dr. Weir is doing this afternoon, that I've put together. Okay? He told the UN president, thank you, madam, for being president. He paid tribute to former leaders of UN who also happen to come from his neck of the wood. He told the UN paradigm have shifted. He told the UN, you people watch the process in Liberia when Liberians went towards useful leadership. But here's the interesting part. And you think these people that are running, I keep telling you, these people are not running Banana Republic. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. You're not listening to me. These people, you might not agree with them. And I don't agree with them most of the time either. But that doesn't mean they're running some sort of a republic. They're running the Republic of Liberia. Did I say Republic of? Well, so who cares? You know what I'm talking about. Here's the interesting thing. After laying all this out, comes out. He said, however, now that you know that I am here as President of the Republic of Liberia, we're not sleeping. We know the situation in Liberia. Folks, these are some of the things that I want when I talk about. Then they accuse me of being a sedition. At this time, I'm not even gonna respond to it. You want to call me CDC? In fact, call me CDC second chairman. Say I don't care. But I want to be truthful. During the election, Dr. Weir traveled all over the country. And as he was traveling, he didn't see beer in your hand or palm wine in your hand. He was observing what was happening in the country. And the fact that he was senator before that. And before that, he was not, even though he never involved himself in a war, but he's not stranger to the suffering of the masses in Liberia. And because of that, because of his understanding of the suffering of the masses in Liberia, he was the only political party, including my own political party. He was the only political party in Liberia. Their party were able to hold their people for 12 straight years. Their people were not getting tired to say, let me go up to the Omaya and get my own small cut. Those that were committed to CDC, it didn't matter. They believed in him. There were people that were reporting from Liberia. Whenever CDC said they want to print out T-shirt, they don't have to buy it. Those who want to wear the T-shirt go and buy their own T-shirt and have it printed for them so they will wear it. That's how much committed they were with CDC. So Dr. Weir is not stranger to the suffering of our people. So they came out. Pro-poor agenda, and you got people like Sansinto. What do you mean by pro-poor? They know what they mean by, what is the definition of pro-poor? I had a show about that here one time. What is the definition of pro-poor agenda? Do they know what they're talking about? I was on, up and down. They were not rushing themselves. They don't care to respond to something to yelling and screaming and calling their name. Who cares? They know exactly what they wanted. Dr. Weir knew exactly what he wanted to do. So there's nothing. What I say, I'm to yell and say, because one time, as we speak, Samson to have copy of that as we speak. I have copy of the Propo agenda. And now that it has been made public, I will take my time to read it through along with you guys. And then we can dissect the program and see which way things will happen. Other people think that those who have already read it think that it's a pie in the sky situation. For me, I don't believe that. They have identified certain areas. In those areas, I believe that if they concentrate their energy on those areas, they will be successful. But let's go on. So Dr. Weir, after telling the people that I'm here, he's now getting ready to tell them, guess what? We're not just here to bluff. We have a program in place. Let's listen to how Dr. Weir introduced that program. Folks, this is Samson Tour, LIBERIA Public Radio. I'm on it again this afternoon. I'm not fooling around because this is no time to fool around. Let's listen to how Dr. Weir and his people have it all set up. Samson Tour, LIBERIA Public Radio. Now he's going to tell us what does he have. What is he telling you and that this is what I have. However, we're not in this alone. We will need help. But we have to take the lead. Follow us, and we will tell you where we what the needs are, and what do you have to do to help us. It's not like Liberian organization here in America telling the people in Liberia what they want. You got most of the Liberian organization here in America. Oh, the people want a barrel of medicine. How you know? Your eyes there? Because you think the people suffering, so they just want medicine. Go engage them, and then they will tell you what they need. Based on their need, you supply. And that's exactly what Dr. Weir and his people have done. Let's listen to this program that he's talking about. Samson Tour, LIBERIA Public Radio, Friday afternoon. Stay with us. Listen. What? Did I do that? Yes. Okay. I'll just replay it. No big deal.
On the lives of our citizens.
Okay. It's going to
The challenges of leadership are enormous. But in each and every one of these challenges, I see opportunity to make things better and to bring permanent improvements to the lives of all Liberians as we devise policies and programs that will have a lasting and positive impact on the lives of our citizens. The challenges of leadership are enormous, but in each and every one of these challenges, I see opportunity to make things better and to bring permanent improvements to the lives of all Liberians as we devise policies and programs that will have a lasting and positive impact on the lives of our citizens.
There we go. He's laying the groundwork. I told you before, if you're somebody that like to write and used to writing and love writing, you don't just lay out things and say, oh, I went to Tota. I left Tota. I drink water. I eat Maria now. How the heck you expect me to follow? You are in Tota. How did you get to the water side? What is the description? The process of taking you to the water side. After drinking the water, how many cups of water did you even have? Let me know. After drinking the water, how did you get to Monrovia? What is the transportation system that you utilize to get to Monrovia? You see where I'm going with this thing? That's how you lay these things out. You don't just go and say, I want to give a speech. No, you lay it out. He's coming next. He's telling the UN now, we're here in charge. But we also recognize, however it's difficult to be a leader, but we recognize that our people need certain things. And these are the kinds of stuff we would do to improve the lives of our people. If we follow certain procedures that we're going to put in place. Let's see now, what are the procedures Dr. Weir and his people have in mind that they want to put in place? What exactly do they have in mind? Oh my goodness. Propo agenda. Here we go. This is Samson Tour, LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's listen to Propo agenda. What is he talking about? Listen.
Madam President, the umbrella program on which we intend to pursue prosperity is the proper agenda for development and prosperity, our national development plan for the next 5 years.
There we go.
This is not an agenda only for the poor. It is for the benefit of all Liberians. But it is a policy framework that gives priority to the alleviation of poverty, and its core objectives and focus is to reduce the marginalizations of the most vulnerable, while at the same time creating a conducive atmosphere for the middle and upper income Liberian to grow and prosper. We want to build a harmonious society based on the goal of economic empowerment, especially for the underprivileged. Our proper agenda is therefore designed to give power to the people, promote economic diversification, protect sustainable peace, and encourage good governance. We appeal to our friends, bilateral partners, and private investors to support this agenda. Madam President.
Do I need to say more, folks? Do I need to say more? He's laying it out. We have a process. We have means. And I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. He will come out and tell you areas that if utilized will be able to support their programs. You know, then people say, oh, the pie in the sky. What pie in the sky? Where? Where the pie in the sky? There ain't no pie in the sky in total when they're talking about building roads. What do you want pie in the sky? Is that what you call pie in the sky? When a man telling you say you want agriculture for ourselves to be able to feed ourselves, you're talking about pie in the sky. What is the pie in the sky? Is a man's telling you reality and you're telling me pie in the sky? No. You have the pie in the sky, Samson talk. I don't mean to be too much here this afternoon. Let's take little music in the loop. Let me dance a little bit because I'm enjoying myself. They're gonna call me CDC cheerleader. That's okay. They can call me anything they want. Samson told LIBERIA Public. Let me do this little bit here. Yes. I'm on there, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public. I'm enjoying myself. Share the video. I still got more video here too. But the point here is this. Dr. Weah is laying out a roadmap. He's not only laying it out in Liberia, but he's laying it out here in front of millions of international community partners. Those who wants to help, this is what we have. We're not hiding anything. If you want to go deep into the proper agenda program they will give you a copy. Read through it. It's a very interesting reading. But there are those who consider the pie in the sky, and I disagree with them. So let's go a little bit more. Okay. Okay. The next one is where he's going to tell us. Who are those this program supposed to benefit. I told you before that Dr. Weah has a clear understanding. My belief, and you can tell me something else, it's up to you. But I believe that Dr. Weah has a clear understanding of what people in Liberia most likely will like. And he's doing his best. He wants to provide. He wants to provide it so badly that perhaps he tend to go, other people push him here and there, things that I don't agree with. But the overall goal remains the same. The long suffering of our people must come to an end now. And do you blame him when he tried to push the panic button of the long suffering of our people to come to an end? Today, I was listening to NPR 12 today, Science Friday, with Ira Franklin. There was a guy that written a book about water, how the Chinese and the people from Saudi Arabia, how they're going around the world because they're having problem with their own water issues. So they're going around the world to plant grass that will soak water from your soil, and they take that grass back to their own area, and they use that process to take the water after the grass and be able to supply their people. Look it up. I'm not making it up. Look it up. Go to NPR Science Friday today. Okay? So the point here is this. If Dr. Weir is trying his best to put now the process of trying to de-water Liberia, whether Chinese or people from, it's not happening right now. He's talking about another 50, 75 years. But if our brothers and sisters are in the position where Dr. Weir wants to take us, I believe, if they are in a position to be able to see what's coming, they will be able to resist what it is that is not good for our people. So if he comes out here and make the kinds of pronouncement, people, the sky in the past, my foot. I want to dance again. But anyway, let's look at this other one. He now going to tell the UN, we're not just making the thing up, the pro agenda to satisfy ourselves. There are real needs in Liberia. And here are some of the people that are going to need it. And it's very true. Now, everything that I'm making fun here and there, but think about it seriously. Is there anything that you heard so far that is not true? So let's look at it. What's Dr. Weir saying? Okay. What is he saying? Who needs this program here? Let's listen to him. Samson told LIBERIA Radio.
A lack of access to quality educational opportunities. Our plan is to revise the unfortunate situations and make them productive citizens through the provision of adequate educational facility at the high school and college levels. For those who still have interest in pursuing academic programs, for those youth that are left behind due to the disastrous civil crisis and who have outgrown their school years, my government is investing in technical vocational education and training programs to build their entrepreneur and a marketable skill set. Madam President, as we focus on actions planned to implement our development agenda, we are acutely aware of the vulnerability of our youthful population, who are clearly disadvantaged as a result of high unemployment and lack of access to quality educational opportunities. Our plan is to revise their unfortunate situations and make them productive citizens through the provision of adequate educational facility at the high school and college levels. For those who still have interest in pursuing academic programs, for those youth that are left behind due to the disastrous civil crisis and who have outgrown their school years, my government is investing in technical vocational education and training programs to build their entrepreneur and a marketable skill set. Madam President.
Okay, folks, at this point, you tell me. I've been paraphrasing, I've been making my own argument, but what I'm saying, what is the difference what I'm saying than what he's been saying so far? If you don't like the fact that I'm making these things, making pronouncement, praising, and if you don't like it, too bad. Something too. I got my day to answer. Please, I'm not gonna dignify that. Samson told LIBERIA Radio. Okay. So he now explained to us. Okay. He's finally telling us the people that need this type of help, for whom he's going to concentrate to make sure the help gets to these people. Now, what if, and I'm using the word what if, the international community failed to come to our aid? What exactly Dr. Weir and his people have in the pro-poor agenda that will substitute for the failure? Now, I'm using the word failure very lightly because they're not responsible. They're only doing it because they want to do it, so it's not failing. But I'm just using it anyway. For the international community not being able to come to our aid, what do they have in mind? How do they intend because the pro-poor agenda they have is they're not rag from total you're going to give that money. So how are they going to be able to generate the fund to support that? Let's listen. And then you can say something to him using his own idea, plenty of idea. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. It don't matter. But let's listen. Let's listen. Where is this money going to come from? What are some of the areas that he has identified? Samson told LIBERIA Public. I'm not making it up. These are true and factual statements.
As well as open doors for industrialization.
We'll replay that.
With the implementation of a new special economic zone, we intend to attract labor-intensive light manufacturing. Being conscious of the importance and impact of infrastructure on social and economic development, my government has identified investment in roads, energies, and ports as our key priority, and it is therefore soliciting funding and other technical expertise to undertake these projects in pursuit of our goal to connect our cities and towns and strengthen our economy. Madam President, agriculture is Liberia's comparative advantage and has also been identified as one of our major poverty alleviation instruments because it will lead us to self-sufficiency in food productions and self-employment, as well as open doors for industrialization. With the implementations of a new special economic zone, we intend to attract labor-intensive light manufacturing. Being conscious of the importance and impact of infrastructure on social and economic development, my government has identified investment in roads, energies, and ports as our key priority, and it is therefore soliciting funding and other technical expertise to undertake these projects in pursuit of our goal to connect our cities and towns and strengthen our economy. Madam President, agriculture is Liberia's comparative advantage and has also been identified as one of our major poverty alleviation instruments because it will lead us to self-sufficiency in food productions and self-employment, as well as open doors for industrialization. With the implementations of a new special economic zone, we intend to attract labor-intensive light manufacturing. Being conscious of the importance and impact of infrastructure on social and economic development, my government has identified investment in roads, energies, and ports.
Okay, I just want to replay that so people will understand how his pro-poor agenda most likely gonna get funding. Once those areas that he has identified get taken care of, they will be able to generate fund. I'll give you an example. You get a road from Total to Moenpliwe. Something to have a banana farm in Moenpliwe. So I got able to get my banana from Moenpliwe to come to market. I'm not going to be dependent on the government. I'm going to generate fund. I'm going to pay taxes. That's how you generate income for everybody. I don't need to go through all of the other stuff. Okay, let's go on. Folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, almost done here, almost done. Now, here's the other interesting thing that I want you to pay attention to. I told you before, and people will write up here how I'm manipulating the system. I'm using my own ideas, my own view, and whatever they want. But that's okay. They can say whatever they want to say. That doesn't matter. But I'm just telling you. I have to tell you these things. I paraphrase most of them. Okay, but I've not deviated from whatever the main topic of Dr. Weir. I've not pulled in comment from there from yesterday. Everything is what he's said or what he's going to say. Okay, because I've had the insight. I have the privilege of viewing it before. One other thing here that I faced to do from the beginning is to thank KMTV, who through process we're able to get these kinds of wonderful information. Thank you, KMTV. We appreciate it. But let's move on. So now Dr. Weir now is going to tell us one of the most important things. He's going to say, you can't do all of the good things without being able to have a secure society. So yeah, you see what he did? He identified areas and speaks on those areas one by one. So I'm not too sure exactly what part of it you guys are not understanding. I'm calling me names and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Let's listen. Dr. We are going to tell us about security now. Let's listen. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio.
Finally, we are placing emphasis on national security in order to enable our people move and live freely without fear. With the recent withdrawal of the United Nations peacekeeping missions in Liberia, we are now in charge of our own security. We thank you for the sacrifices that you have made in securing and maintaining the peace in Liberia after our prolonged civil conflict. Finally, we are placing emphasis on national security in order to enable our people move and live freely without fear. With the recent withdrawal of the United Nations peacekeeping missions in Liberia, we are now in charge of our own security. We thank you for the sacrifices that you have made in securing and maintaining the peace in Liberia after our prolonged civil conflict. Finally,
again, folks, I don't need to say much. You heard it yourself. He said that they are now able to have their own security. They're able to handle their own security. So why can't we believe them? Let us all try to support that process. When Dr. Weir is making his statement, he's not just referring to himself. The process of securing Liberia depends on all of us. All of us. Whether in the diaspora or even back home. All of us. Each of us must play our part to be able to have a secure nation. Interesting thing I'm going to be showing you here very shortly. There are some areas that I part company with Dr. Weir and his people, and that area is going to come up very shortly. But because of that, the fact that I don't agree with them in a specific area, that doesn't mean that I have to stay here and criticize what is factual. I can't do that. If I'm going to stay here for hours, my knees hurting, I must be truthful with you. I can't come out here because I don't like something, then therefore I'm a make-up story. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Okay. Now, after telling you all that they're now in control of security in the Republic of Liberia, he's getting ready to tell the people, thank you. We appreciate it. You guys have done a wonderful job for us. It was through you that we're able to stand here before you this evening. Let's look at it. Yes. If you're a political junkie, you tend to like a lot of stuff, enjoy yourself, and I think that's exactly what I'm doing this afternoon. This is Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's listen to Dr. Weir as he thanked the UN and for helping us. Let's listen. What does he have to say about it? Samson to.
Help us rebuild our institutions and communities. We are a peacekeeping success story, and we are grateful for the support given. Madam President, my country has finally turned the corner with more years of peace than preceding years of war, guided by our peace agreement signed in Accra 15 years ago. We thank the members and the Security Council of the United Nations for the UME peacekeeping mission, which brought stability and help us rebuild our institutions and communities. We are a peacekeeping success story, and we are grateful.
We are a peacekeeping success story, and we are grateful to the UN. When people do you good, you say thank you. You don't just sit down there and say, oh, you did good? Okay. No, you say thank you. And this is what Dr. Weah and his people have done. Let's move on. Here's the other interesting subject that he touched on. And again, this is where I come down on those, the Honorable Solomon George, Honorable Gray, Honorable Moluba Malu, Honorable Jefferson Kochi. Those people, I don't like the trend that they're taking. Because here's what I do know. We're all Liberians. And Dr. Weah was elected. Even some of us that didn't want him to be president. He's president now. He's our president. If you guys are forming a group to go meet Dr. Weah, that's okay. We appreciate that. Even if I was there, I was going to be able to join you. Even if I'm not a member of CDC, I was going to be able to join you. But for you to make that into finding any means, just because you're going to meet Dr. Weah on Sunday, that's ridiculous. All of these good things this young man is saying, you're putting all of that thing in the water. So if you're going to collect sedition, you've been holding CDC people for 12 years, and we appreciate, we say you have the strength. Nobody disputing your strength. For people to stand there and say, they all think you're doing a player. CDC got the most radical, and they got the most, combatant, whatever you want to. Who's talking about combating? This is ridiculous. You're the chairman of CDC. That's your job, to make sure seditions are always together. That's good. If you're going to use CDC instead of asking all Liberians to go and meet their president, because their president have done a wonderful job. If you don't want to make it into a national gathering, if you want to make it only into a sedition gathering, that's fine. But why try to find fault with other people? You're making it into people's giving speeches. Who's jealous of Dr. Weah? Who's jealous of what? We're not talking about jealousy. This young man is at the UN, making Liberia proud once more, like he has always done. And you're there. You're over there in Monrovia, starting off saying all kind of things that are not conducive to the unification of our people. That's bad. That's not how we want this thing to be. Because believe it or not, the people that you find as an enemy, they also are men, just like you. You hear what the people say, Michael? You look in the tree, something in that tree looking inside too. You think you men, other people think they're men. Why would you even want to put us in that position? The president is here, showing the world what a magnificent person he is, showing the world how much capacity he has to lead, showing the world that he's not just leading, he has programmed to lead. Then you're there, we went meet the president on Sunday, you're not good, then the people making speeches. I refuse to play it. Because that's not something that brings pride to all of us. This is division, divisive statement. They're not conducive to us. People, you heard I played for you. I show you the picture of the police director and the statement he made. This is how you build institution. You can challenge people, If you think somebody is jealous of Dr. Weah, they're not going to do anything until election time. Then you show yourself. If you truly love Dr. Weah, wait until election time. You did it before. You can do it again. Why continue to try to foment conflict when there's no conflict? I'll give you another example. Go on front page. The mother of the land is over here trying to get people to give to Liberia. And then people over there talking about it, who want to store money or what have you. Show the proof. Once the proof is there, you can say it. But Liberia, man, I'm one of those too. Nothing can stop me. I can sit down and say the person ate my money. And I was here accusing people in my community of stealing money. And I don't get no proof, mind you. I got no proof. But I was here accusing people. Say, oh, the person stole our money. And they say, show me proof. What do I have to show you proof? I know it because I know a behavior. That behavior, you're going to show that somebody stole your money. Sam Sainto, LeBron Public. Folks, I just thought that I tried to do this because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Okay. Now let's listen to Dr. Weah, how he tried to maneuver around this particular situation. He's not only telling the UN, but he's also telling people like Manuba Manu and the rest of the people that we must not take this peace we have for granted. Don't take it from me. Don't just take it from my mouth. Let's listen to Dr. Weah. What do you have to say about taking peace for granted?
We must realize and appreciate that ours is a state of fragile peace. But a nation which has experienced civil war must never take peace for granted and forget the long shadow that years of conflict still cast over people's lives. We must realize and appreciate that ours is a state of fragile peace. But a nation which has experienced civil war must never take peace for granted and forget the long shadow that years of conflict still cast over people's lives.
You hear that? When you're ready, we'll challenge them. Why people are still crying for their relatives. They're suffering. They don't have food to eat. Then you say, you're not the only people. We're here too. We can do this. You're in leadership. You're in government. What more challenge you want? If you get power, show the people how you can lead. If you get power, show the people how you can lead. There's no reason to ask and to continuously accuse people of being enemy of the state. That's not right. That's not right. Dr. Weah is at UN telling the UN that me and my people are not taking the peace for granted. We still know that our peace is a fragile peace because it's not completely whole. Anything can happen anytime, and then we have people that will continue to stroke the fire of disunity among us. I'm not a member of CDC, but if CDC-led government is doing good, you know how long I've been up here now? You know how long I've been up here? More than an hour and a half. Do I have to do this? I don't. I can come here and talk about other stuff. But I decided to do this thing to know those people that are listening to me will be able to watch what Dr. Weah have gone over this gone week, what he's talked about. I mean, just 2 days ago, what he had talked about. But instead, I was going to put the video together and play it. But I thought to myself, no. Anybody would want to see those type of video, let them go. The video is there. Go research it. You will find it. But for me, it's not something that I want to put on my show here. Sam Sinto. I'm going to try to wrap it up here. Okay. This is... Okay. Okay, let's go to the last one. Let's go to the last 3 videos. Okay. Here, Dr. Weah is going to talk about unity. Now, this is where I park company. Because there are those of us who believe, strongly believe, that we should not have people running around Liberia who have committed heinous crimes during the war, who were fully responsible of killing people. Now, I will tell you a little bit about myself. Okay? I have a brother that was killed a long time ago. We have an older brother called Roberto, the guy who sang Barrow, because he's a Barrow man. Myself, I'm a Barrow man. My little brother used to be an IE man. And my other, I think Anthony Kamara, I think he's Barrow. I'm not too sure. But when we get together, there's one fire in the house. So Robert and I with Barrow. Nelson was IE. And IE for me was let them go somewhere else. That are yellow, yellow stuff. Let them go find a place to sit down, man. I say Barrow, he say I biggie. I thought good thing. But anyway, so during the war, Robert felt within himself, and he told people, "I'm gonna go behind the line because people like Prince Johnson, then they know me. They know I'm not a violent person, even though I'm crying, but I'm not a violent person. So I need to find food for my kids. And the fact that I'm not a violent person, everybody know I'm a sinker. I don't do violent business in the country. What's the reason?" They told him, "Don't go. You're a crime man. You go over, it doesn't matter. Prince Johnson, they will kill you." He said, "No." And yeah, I mean, because Prince Johnson had visited the barracks before. He said, "The men were here." He said he want peace. So he went across the bridge, believing that nothing was going to happen to him. And when Prince Johnson, they all knew him. All of the guild people, they knew him. Because he's not too far from Roberto. Now, only that, here's a sad thing. Roberto spent, I think, 7 or 8 years interpreter in the army. So most of the guild people interpreter know who Roberto was. And then coming to Monrovia, Roberto is not somebody who is hidden. He's well known all over Monrovia. The man that sing IE Barrow music. You know he has to be popular. But when he got across, according to the story we got from some of the guild friends that we have, that he got killed because he was crying. These are the kinds of stuff we're talking about. How do you talk to us, the family? And this is not unique to me. There are Liberians all over. The war didn't spare anybody. Every one of us were affected. And those who are responsible, we saying that they shouldn't go scot-free. Even if they are not sent to the Hague or go to jail, let them come and apologize to the Liberian people. The process was there. They failed, failed to utilize the process. And so now Liberians, and like Dr. Weah and his people used to talk about, war crime. Now Liberians are saying this is the perfect time to do it. The fact that Dr. Weah never played part in a war, he should be able to understand. But Dr. Weah and his people continue to resist. And let's listen to some of his reason. I don't want you to just say because he didn't measure it. Oh, he didn't measure it. No, but listen to his reason. And see if there's a conversation that needs to be held with this thing. Let's have the conversation. Because Dr. Weah and his people, they have a reason why they don't want war crime court. Let's listen to this. This is a very interesting thing. If you miss these kinds of stuff tonight, you can go, you replay it, that's fine. But let's listen to Dr. Weah as he talk about. He didn't mention war crime name though. But you can tell what he's talking about and what was going through his mind. Let's listen.
Our people across the country still bear the scars of conflict. We therefore intend to initiate a series of national peace dialogue. Throughout Liberia, we must restart those difficult conversations at the local level and include our youth so that they and we do not repeat the costly mistake of the past. It is clear to me that these frank exchanges are an essential step in bringing lasting healing, reconciliation, and unity to our people. Our agenda is not one of division, but rather it is an agenda that intends to provide an enabling environment for the united and reconciled people to be able to benefit and prosper from the economic dividends of peace. Our people across the country still bear the scars of conflict. We therefore intend to initiate a series of national peace dialogue. Throughout Liberia, we must restart those difficult conversations at the local level and include our youth, so that they and we do not repeat the costly mistake of the past. It is clear to me that these frank exchanges are an essential step in bringing lasting healing, reconciliation, and unity to our people. Our agenda is not one of division, but rather it is an agenda that intends to provide an enabling environment for the united and reconciled people to be able to benefit and prosper from the economic dividends of peace. Our people.
Folks, like I said, this is where our part company with Dr. Weir and his people. Okay? So Dr. Weir gave us his reason that his agenda is agenda of unity. It's not an agenda of division. They believe, from what you just heard, that they can have a conversation among us, Liberian, and perhaps we will be able to reconcile our differences. That's okay. But where do you start? That proposal must be put out to Liberians. If this is what Dr. Weir and his people want to put in place instead of a war crime, which for me also, in as much as I like to have it, it's going to be divisive. It's going to be a division all over. Because the person that you want to take to war crime, that person already have connection with relatives. How do we deal with this? This is a terrible, terrible position that we find ourselves in. And then I take that whole thing and drag it and put it right on the doorstep of the mother of the land. Once again, when they came in 2005, Liberia had just got out of war. Liberia was just like a fresh land where you can try to manipulate if you want. And of course they did. But where you can try to fix things to suit the country, put in place structure that perhaps will help us. And when the TRC situation came in, the mother of the land said, I'm not saying much. You want to listen? You want to hear what I got to say? Buy my book. So now, how do we have Dr. Weir and his people to deal with this? The people that are responsible for most of the heinous crime, some of them are serving in the government. They are making policy that are affecting our lives. Some are making good policy. Some are doing good. Do we say because you're doing good now, therefore the life of my brothers and sisters that was lost is for nothing? What is the process Dr. Weir and his people have in mind? How do we engage each other? This is a very serious business. And so when you find people like Moluba Molu and the Salma George and the Gray, Representative Ray, and Jefferson Coaching, when they make these kinds of incendiary comments about anybody you dare us, then if Dr. Weir cannot put a stop to these kinds of stuff, then perhaps they're not quite serious yet. Because on one hand, you can't ask Liberia to follow you and follow your logic of peace. How to reconcile. On the other hand, you have people who are with you day in, day out, trying to find enemy of the state. You need to have 4 or 5 people like the police director to be close by, to be able to tell you truthfully. However, I appreciate that Dr. Weah didn't shy from the conversation. He put his own stuff out to the UN, how he intends to bring his people together. So that's part of the process. That's part of the agenda. That's good. I don't agree with it, but the fact that he has something on the table, that's very good. 12 years, we have nothing on the table. Nothing. Oh, we're going to reconcile. 1 minute, Nima County and Grand Yida killing cow. What happened to Grand Yida and Sino? What happened to Grand Yida and Maryland? All the other counties. You're going to go and kill cow. Every county is going to kill cow. But Dr. Weah is saying that he has a process that he wants us to follow. This requires trust. And how do you generate the trust from the Liberian people, Dr. Weah? Not by Jefferson Kochi and his people making these kinds of statements that are not conducive. If the people say they want to demonstrate, the police director told the people, I don't mind you guys demonstrating, but I want you to know we have rules in this country. Why the Constitution allow you to demonstrate, and we, the security forces, will protect you to demonstrate, but you must not violate the rules of this country, because it is our duty to uphold those rules. That's how you have an institution. That's how you start the kind of conversation. Folks, this is Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Like I said, this is where I part company with them, but let me play. This is something I just want. I just thought maybe I try to put it, sketch it in people's mind. It's not necessary, but I would still do it anyway. Listen to this one. It's the same, but I picked that particular statement where he said, our agenda is not for division. Listen.
Our agenda is not one of division. Our agenda is not one of division. Our agenda is not one of division. Our agenda is not one of division.
You hear that? I want you to understand the agenda they have is not one of division. However, what do you say to the brothers and sisters like me? I don't agree with it. What is the compromising point? What is the middle of the road that you want us to meet you? Because you're not going to stay way across the river and sit behind Grand Yida and say, your car, meet me. No. You come, we meet in the middle. That's the only way we're going to be able to survive. That's the only way we're going to be able to pass this thing. Because there are those who also resisting the war crime court. You can't, we ourselves, those of us that support that, I don't expect that we all, either our way or no way, you're not going to get nothing. So, one way or the other, we must, those of us that support the war crime and economic crime court, we must find a solution, a compromising point, without giving our value out. I agree with that. But you're talking about the lives of other Liberians as well. If majority of Liberians agree with our value, our point of view, that's fine. But if people say no, let's see why they say no. Let's have an honest discussion and find out why they say no. You can't say because you said no, I don't even want to talk to you anymore. Well, how are you going to get anywhere? This is Sam Sinto. Let me play the last one. I don't think I'll take questions tonight. I'll just go ahead and play this. And then after that, we're going to call it quit. This is Dr. We are wrapping the 1 hour, 2 hours program on Sam Sinto Show. Listen to this.
Prosperity is not one of division. And so today, our agenda is not one of division. I want to reaffirm the support of my government for the work is not one of United Nations in striving to achieve global peace. I also believe that the overwhelming mandate I received from Liberian people is a mandate to end corruption in public service, and I remain fully committed to this task. Madam President, with your generous assistance and strong support, as well as that of other international institutions and member states, and with God's blessings, we will fulfill our agenda to lift our people from poverty to prosperity. I thank you. And so today, in closing, I want to reaffirm the support of my government for the work of the United Nations in striving to achieve global peace. I also believe that the overwhelming mandate I received from Liberian people is a mandate to end corruption in public service, and I remain fully committed to this task. Madam President, with your generous assistance and strong support, as well as that of other international institutions and member states, and with God's blessings, we will fulfill our agenda to lift our people from poverty to prosperity. I thank you. And so today,
Folks, there you have it. Dr. Weir told us what I thought was interesting. I just made a clip. But on a very serious note, the last one was very interesting. He made an announcement to the world that Liberian people have given a mandate to fight corruption. And that's one thing he said he's going to do. Now we're going to hold him to his word. Specifically coming here in the international community and making that kinds of pronouncement. We're going to hold you to that. But we must do so with responsibility. You can't say because somebody stole something to 5 cents in total, that corruption, Dr. Weir said you're going to do something, he ain't doing it. And I'm being ridiculous here. But those are the kinds of things we have to stay away from. Folks, this is Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. I'm going to be opening the line here very shortly. But before I do that, let me do this little bit. Put myself back into the mall, and I'll stay with you maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Folks, that's the number. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public Radio. Give me a call. It's Friday evening. Guess what? From here, something to point up. I'm going to enjoy myself too. I don't drink beer, but I'm going to smell the beer. Sam Sinto, Liberian. Give me a call. Let me sit down a little bit. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. All right. Sam Sinto, Liberian Public. Give me a call. 916-533-2048. And tell me whether. But before you call me, don't call me here. Let me read a comment here. Don't call me here. Don't call me here. Why, Alfonso? That's the CDC agent on LPR. Okay, that's why. That's whatever. Okay. All right, folks. Samson told Liberian Public, give me a call. 916-533-2048. And let's see how far we're going to go this afternoon. All right. Now that I'm sitting down. But anyway, no, folks, on a very serious note, I think we all should be proud of Dr. Weir to come to the UN and be able to give the speech that he gave and be able to outline things that I spent an hour going over. I think it's wonderful to know that at least we have people who would talk to us and explain these things. And I think even if you call me CDC agent or what, that's okay. CDC is a Liberian political party anyway. I'm a Liberian. I'm allowed to. However, I'm not a member of CDC. I've never been a member of CDC. And I'll continue to say that. Because if I say, yes, I'm CDC member, then I'm defeating myself. Because there will come time, like for example, I don't agree with the statement here about having unity through conversation. I don't agree with it. Those who are responsible must be held responsible. Oh, here we go. Here comes the talk issue. Mr. So, I guess you're ready to come on. What's your issue this afternoon?
Oh my goodness. The issues are in so many fronts. But let me just take this one here. First of all, thank you for the show. It's a wonderful show. But notwithstanding, I will also add my own views. Let me just start off with the first. Just this evening, I was on the line talking with a couple of people from inside Liberia. And what we are hearing, but we hope to get that confirmed too with other independent sources. Tension seems to be hacking with supporters. Massive preparation is in the making, and we are not too sure when the president will be returning home. But we are hearing seditions making massive preparation.
Who is this? Let me call you. I'm calling Mr. So.
Like that.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, quickly, like I was saying, we are also hearing recent protesters from inside Liberia are also making preparation, trying to reassemble again for another protest. This time around, so people are telling us they are thinking of going to Frankfurt International Airport as well, while citizens in making preparation to receive the president. But again, like I said, we yet to confirm the authenticity of this. But indeed, we have been told preparation is in the making for another demonstration. What at this time they will be heading to Rabos International Airport. So imagine if seditious supporters of the president will be at the airport and you have demonstrators also at the airport. As much as how chaotic it might be, I don't know how would that play out, but we're going to wait and see.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the other front here.
But before you say that, I to be honest, I just my own view. I think if the protester goes through with it, first of all, the police and the justice minister are going to deny their request, because when they have their protest the last time, sedition wanted to get out in the street and they too were denied. So I'm sure once sedition was the first to talk about going to or requesting permit to do their welcoming ceremony at the Rabat International Airport. Either you are, if you're Liberian, you're allowed to go, but then you have to be part of the welcoming ceremony. You cannot demonstrate against the president while he's coming in. I'm not saying you're not supposed to, but the fact that if you want to do it, you can do it in Monterey or do it somewhere else where there will not be. The police will not even allow them to do that anyway.
Yeah, usually when these kind of things happen here, then police, this is where police comes in with a demarcation to tell people, hey, okay, perhaps who was the first to seek permission with this protest? And if assuming, just based on the limited information that we have had so far, If CDC was the first, or the supporters of the president was the first, and they have identified their place of whatever ceremony that they might be putting in place, then the police will say, okay, well, you can go ahead, but this area is not a zone for you to go in because XY group could be there in order to avoid confrontation.
Yep, Mr. So, Mr. So, I pointed that out earlier when I showed the police director pictures. I also read some stuff. Right.
That's what I'm coming to. I intend not to overtake your show here this evening.
Go ahead.
Something Brian Toll has classically demonstrated himself, as many have alleged, as almost like the CDC agent on LPR. I don't understand why with something to incite himself into this conversation to the extent applauding the police chief of what he's doing. So then here is the thing. You as an anger, I'm not sure whether it is your job, something told. We know you profess to be a Liberal Party man, but it seems to be to me now, there's some sort of indication that you are a CDC-driven guy. Now, the police chief has been applauded today by whatever reason, which of course that his job he's doing. What happens down the road? What happens down the road? It is not your job. You as an anchor, create the conversation and let your audience take on the issue. But to come out to say the police have done well because of X, Y, Z, no, you have already influenced the conversation. That making your audience or your participant less meaningful into the discussion. So I'm kind of like wondering,
Mr. So, this is not something that I want to engage you on. Mr. So, first thing is this. Welcome on Samson Toll Show. I have the right and to express my view, number one. Secondly, this is a talk show. Number one, I'm not a newscaster. Let's put it that way. But here's the other interesting thing I want you to know. The police director.
So are you a sure-handed type of newscaster on Fox News channel now, planted within LPR to be kind of like an agent for the ruling party? Seriously, something to?
Mr. So, if my being truthful and being submitting truth to the people that are listening, if you're going to come to...
Your truthfulness has influenced the conversation significantly.
Mr. So, how am I influenced the conversation? I am not in a position to influence the conversation. Here's what you need to know. Mr. So.
Your opinion has been dominated heavily.
Mr. So, I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled to my opinion. The fact that I'm all LPR...
As an anchor, be a talk show, you are facilitating the process where you want diverse opinion, diverse
Mr. So, the fact that I'm angry does not negate that I too have an opinion to express, and I'm expressing my opinion.
Then you are wrongfully located. Probably we need to send you back to Tota, and then you can do your broadcasting there. But LPR, you are driving LPR into a gutter to the extent that that is so ridiculous. You always have a good presentation, and then at the end of the day, you will fire in your
Mr. So, this is you know me. I'm Blackwood, the liberal progressive. I'm not about ready to pull punches. If I see something good, I praise it. If I see something's wrong, I state so without fear of any repercussion. So say whatever you want to say. You're entitled to your opinion. As far as I'm concerned, the police director has done a wonderful job, and I will continue to praise him. In fact, I'm getting ready to dance for the police.
Are you looking for a job with the police of the Republic of Liberia? Is that where you want to go to now to be the public relations officer? Because the lack of communication. Is that what you're seeking for right now?
No, Mr. So, that's far from it. Far from it. I have a job that I enjoy doing here. But once again, if I see what...
Why didn't you mention or even talk about... Because all what you're saying that it seems to be a dead news as far as I'm concerned. Why didn't you mention the recent demonstration that was in New York from both parties, both ends, and even the president, from what we saw, the images they were offering pizza. Do you think the president should have gone there, or by just ignoring them was that a
Mr.
good
So,
move?
Mr. So, my show is only an hour and a half, 2 hours the most. I don't have time for the other nyama stuff. The one that I feel that I need to tell my audience, that's what I gave. So I'm entitled to it. I'm entitled to it.
All right. And I'm telling you, I'm going to carry on and I'm going to take on the liberal progressive because they are created fear in the audience. They are unable to call. They are uncomfortable because you have positioned yourself as another gladiator by CDC. Angled on
But Mr. So, let me ask you. All that was said tonight by me or Dr. Weir, which one do you find fault with? Which one that is not truth?
My concern is something to.
There should be no concern. Just answer my question. Which one is not true? Which of the statement that is untruthful?
All of the above was force driven by Samson to create a fear for the audience not to participate in the conversation.
Okay. I think if the audience that you're making reference to afraid to engage me because I'm being truthful, then the audience themselves need to perhaps find another show.
So I'm going to tell them they need not to be in front of Block. This is the tactics of Block always put on his garment, or his county, and things that he's going to create fear into the people from speaking out. That's not going to help you out. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful show.
Thank you, Mr. So. We appreciate it. Again, folks, this is Samson Tour. I'm going to close up now to myself. I'm tired anyway. But here is what people need to know. I'm Blocku, a liberal progressive. Toa Chialo, nothing move me. I have a show to do. I believe what I'm saying. Unless, if I'm lying, then I should be concerned. But as long as I know deep inside of me what I'm saying is truthful, I don't care what people say. As long God knows my heart, I don't care what people say. Even if you don't watch me, I will still make these statements because they're statements of facts. These are not alternative facts. These are real facts. Dr. Weir was at the UN. Dr. Weir made these statements, and I'm just trying to modify everything else that is being said. I have to come here as a talk show and give my own view. I'm entitled to it. So, for you and the rest of the people to say they're not going to engage me because I'm acting like an agent of CDC, let me give you this little news. CDC is a party of Republic of Liberia. I am a Liberian. If I want to join CDC, I will do so. Quite recently, Liberty Party Chairman Flanty Kofa joined CDC publicly. I didn't hear people crying about that. But however, I am not a member of CDC. I will continue to say that. But if CDC is doing something good, I must say, oh, I don't come here and can't lie to you. Because why? I don't let CDC because CDC, I'm a party. So when they do something good, I will not say it. I will say it. And I will play the music and I will dance. But if CDC people doing something, like what the chairman doing, and like what Jefferson Coach doing, and like what the other two representatives are doing, comment they're making. Those are comments that I don't support. And I will make everything clear. We got from total. But if CDC government doing something good for our people, I will be dancing. I want a job. I'm okay. You know what I mean? I got paid. Did I say I got paid? I hope my watch not watching. But anyway, you know what I mean? I got paid today. Shit, I'm dancing. So that's not the point. That's not the issue. The idea here is this: CDC government is doing something good. It is my duty, on a very serious note, folks. If CDC government is doing something good, it is my duty to tell you. And say something like this is not a new cast. This is not a new broadcasting. This is a talk show where I express my opinion. I say what the president said, and I can interpret it in my own words. I'm not putting anything that is not stated here This is Samson Tour on a Friday afternoon. Those of you that have to go out, I say thank you very much. We appreciate it. Let me now leave, because first of all, I need water. I gotta drink water. This is Samson Tour. Mr. So always like to push me around. You know how many times you fired me today before coming on my air? Now when as soon as I leave from here, you will call me. You fire. Then when I called Nathaniel Crapo and said the chief now fire me, he said, I fire you too. By the time tomorrow, early in the morning, they calling me. You coming on? I said, I tell you, I say you fire me again. Oh, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You old man like you, we want you around. Anyway, it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. We want to thank all of you. What I tried to do here tonight on a very serious note before I close this program is to show all of us that Dr. Weir, I believe, is doing his best to tell the international community that Liberia is moving forward. And these are the kinds of programs Dr. Weir and you are putting in places that they need the international community to help. Why will you call for help when you don't have anything to show? You say, I need help. Yes, my portfolio. Yes, my binder. And you go through the binder. And it's okay, well, this we can help. That we can help. That's how life is. So once again, I want to tell Dr. Weir, but most importantly, I want to tell the police, on a very serious note, the police chief. People say that his job. Yeah, people used to say that their job too when the police used to kill people. That their job. And yes, the young man, very young, to come out and try to lay the groundwork so that our brothers and sisters don't start fighting among themselves. Then we can't praise him. Sule, Sule, you good. Sule, Sule, you good. Sule, Sule, you good. Thank you for police director. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Weir. Again, this is Samson to LeBron Public Radio. I want to say good night to all of you. Let's do it again. Stay safe, please. Good night, folks.
Jolie.